Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. Let's now hear about the 250th Warner celebration.
So Warner is celebrating its 250th anniversary this year. We became incorporated on September 3rd, 1774. But of course, people have been living here for thousands of years, indigenous people. And they were traveling up and down the river systems here, the Warner River, the Kentucky to the Merrimack. And Warner tried to become established with settlers from Amesbury, Massachusetts in the 1730s and 40s. And they built 5 crude log cabins. They tried to start working on a mill. They would come up here during the summer months and return to Amesbury. So it's really not until after that that Warner starts to have a flood of settlers arrive and then start the community, which would become a township in 1774. And that was granted by the King's Council. We were not independent at that time. And the settlers had been calling it New Almesbury because they had come from Amesbury. But Governor and Council wanted the name to become Warner, probably after men from Portsmouth who sat on the King's Council by the name of Warner. So Warner is defined really by the river that runs through it. It bisects practically half of Warner, where Warner was going to be settled first in Davisville along the river, where the mills were eventually established, and then coming up through what we know today as Lower Warner, Bagley, the Warner Village, Waterloo, Roby, and Melvin Mills. So April 4th at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, the Warner Historical Society invites the community to come and share about why Warner. How come they're here? Did they move here? Has their family been here for generations? We want people to share their stories. On April 6th, back again at the Town Hall with the Warner's Agricultural Commission, we'll be talking about Warner's agricultural history then and now, looking at photos from the past and photos of what's happening with agriculture today in Warner. April 12th, this will be a different venue. It will be at the United Church of Warner, again at 7, with a presentation of the Warner Woman's Oral History Project dramatic reading. It had to be done, so I did it. In May, we'll be involved with Spring into Warner, which is on the 18th. We're revealing a large cake on the lawn of the Sugar River Bank. Jim McLaughlin has handcrafted, beautifully carved signs for both the Dalton Covered Bridge, or Joppa Bridge, some people know it as, and also the Waterloo Bridge in Warner. We're working with the New England Covered Bridge Association on a booklet they'll be producing about covered bridges and railroad covered bridges that existed along the Warner River, and that will come out later in the year. May 27th is the annual Memorial Day Parade that we do in conjunction with the American Legion. Kearsarge Regional High School Band will be playing music and will lead us on the parade from the Town Hall up to the Pine Grove Cemetery. And the American Legion will be having an open house to recognize veterans. June 15th, here at the Historical Society, we'll be opening up our exhibit of Warner's 250 years. And that exhibit will be open on Tuesdays from 1 to 4 and Saturdays 10 to 1 from June throughout Fall Foliage Festival weekend. Then we have some fun music. Nick's other band is going to be playing down at the Jim Mitchell Park. We'll have food, there'll be raffles, and they'll play probably from 5 to 8:30. July 4th is always a big event here in Warner with the July 4th Pancake Breakfast starting 7:30 to 11 at the church in Warner. Accompanied with a new activity, we'll be having a blueberry and strawberry bake sale at the same time. So you can come have breakfast and get your dessert for later in the evening. August 25th is going to be the Lower Warner Meeting House annual church service that we do in conjunction with the United Church of Warner, and that will be starting at 10 a.m. We're doing a Town Reads, which is going to read about Warner's town history written by Walter Harriman, and that will take place on September 8th at the Town Hall at 4 p.m. September 14th is another big day. That's the Incorporation Day. Caleb Parsons is going to be reading the proclamation that declared that Warner had become a township. And we'll have music by the Hopkinton Town Band, and we'll be providing hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and drinks. So that will be starting around 4 o'clock on that Saturday. October 11th, 12th, and 13th, Fall Foliage Festival. The theme is Happy Birthday to Warner. So there'll be, hopefully, lots of interesting floats for the parade this year on Sunday, which starts at 1. All the museums will be open with exhibits. And on October 14th, which is Indigenous Peoples Day, we'll be having a planting of an elm tree in the Arboretum up at the Indian Museum to celebrate that day. November brings Veterans Day. And with Veterans Day, we're going to work with the Legion to produce a little history of the American Legion Hall being built in 1930s. And we will also be having probably a supper at the town hall to celebrate this event. We will have our final closeout event at the Mount Kearsarge Indian Museum on December 21st, where we'll have a winter solstice event with bonfires, cocoa, s'mores. People can write their resolutions and throw them into the bonfire and send good wishes for Warner to celebrate their 300th anniversary 50 years from now. Some other things that are happening is that a Warner coloring book is being developed and will be published this year. The second history of Warner, that went from 1875 to 1974, has been out of print for a long time. So we are in the process of republishing that book with 60 new photographs. Another thing that we've done is we've developed a really fun activity for families to do called Favorite Corner of Warner. We have a poster that you can pick up at the library, the Historical Society Town Hall, Sugar River Bank, or Cafe One. Go to your favorite place in Warner, pose with the poster, take a selfie, and upload it to our Facebook page, and we will print them. And then at some point this year, we will have a program showing Warner's favorite corners. We also have a lawn sign that we've developed called Celebrate With Us. The signs are $15. It's a fundraiser, and you can get those signs at Sugar River Bank or at the Warner Historical Society. We hope by the end of summer they'll be sprinkled throughout the community. T-shirts and hats are being designed, and we'll probably also have an event at the Lavender Farm sometime this summer. So things keep happening. You have to stay tuned. You can keep track of what's happening by our Facebook page, or to the website, or to the Kearsarge Area Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you for your efforts towards this wonderful and historic celebration. When we return, Neil Nevins of Main Street Warner Inc. will be joined by some folks to tell us about the Feed Kearsarge initiative. But first, please keep watching your Yankee Chronicle as we hear from another one of the fine businesses that are involved in making this show happen. Please stay with us.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the Country Press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.